depending on what position you're in, and some of the companies we consult for are a little bit different than this. What we encourage is just get it done. Let's say that we got a 14-hour round trip and there's an 8-hour, and that there's an 8-hour window of the 14-hour round trip that there's actually work being done, but you got to commute.
Right.
But before you leave, you want to go knock out a 40-minute workout? Go knock it out. Don't ask permission.
Right. We don't micromanage people.
No.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Don't micromanage. I feel like you get a lot more effective.
If you get back at 3 o'clock in the morning and you want to go work out. If you decide you want to take lunch at 12 or 4, I don't care.
That's good.
A lot of times we don't know what our employees are doing.
No,
we don't really care as long
as just get it done.
We notice if production falls off.
We know about how long we've been doing a long time. We know how long it takes to do stuff.
Yeah.
That's
then
good.
we can have a discussion with somebody if there's an issue, but it's rare.
I feel like, but when that happens like that, I feel like you have happier employees.
Oh, yeah.
It makes your business work so much easier, so much smoother, because it's not, at this point, like, you're cool. Like, I can talk to you, and, like, I feel more comfortable if I'm frustrated, you know?
I showed up today, and they were in there having breakfast and this and that. They had dead time. Like, it made no sense to me. Let's say you're working the 9 to 5, and it's been a long time since I did this. I mean, literally since I was like at 17, and even then I had 2 other jobs I was doing too, plus the business I owned. But you're the 9 to 5. Let's say you work at the bank, right? And you get to get up from your desk 15 minutes in the morning before your lunch, and you get 15 minutes in the evening before your lunch, and you're going to get 30 minutes for your lunch break or an hour, whatever, right? It was so rigid, and you had to take it at this time, right? Now, in some environments, because of staffing, I get that we have to have someone there, and everybody just can't leave at the same time.
For larger companies.
I feel like I get that. But listen, if you're tired, I encourage you, get up. We got with our main companies, all the food, snacks, drinks, the bar, everything's free. Go get it.
That's
like, hey,
awesome.
You're tired, you fall asleep in your seat, get up, walk around, go grab yourself a drink. Go hang out in the gym for 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. Go do whatever you need to go do to reset yourself.
Be productive.
Right. Be productive, and then come back in here and let's grind it out, right?
That makes it easier.
If you got, what good am I doing forcing you to sit in the seat? Hey, man, you were up for 12 minutes. You only get a 10-minute break.
Oh, yeah.
You're 2 minutes late. Like, come on.
That makes no sense to me, because now I can't even do my job because I'm falling asleep. I'm like, oh, damn, I can't even open my eyes.
Yeah.
So how can I be productive to your business by being this sleepy?
Exactly. You just want me to sit here and pretend, like, just sit. What you end up with is zombies, and they're just sitting here and they're pretending to work for your benefit. Right. Which means they're not actually working.
Yeah.
Which is stupid.
It's still stupid. Yeah. So it's so good that y'all are bosses like that, because it creates such a healthy work environment. And I feel like it brings more business in that way. Like when you have that, like I feel like with my boss, me and her, I can talk junk with her, and she feels like it's cool. It's a cool environment, and it's so easy breezy. Like you want to go to work because it's not actually going to work. You're actually going to have fun.
Well, we teach employees ownership too.
Yeah,
that's good.
To act like it's their thing, their business.
And it's their business,
and that makes them more productive because they care.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I get so irritated. Now, sometimes, and again, predominantly, I have men that work around us. So with men, I can be a little bit more like this. With women, depending on how long I've known them, I still treat them the same way. Like if I knew you well enough, and I knew you weren't performing at what you're capable of doing, I would be like, hey, what's going on? Like everything okay? And probably you've already told me you're tired, you're not sleeping well, this is going on. We talk about things, right? I would have a conversation and try to help you solve the problem, right? And eventually, if we're having the same conversations over and over and over again, right? I'm gonna start being a little different. Like I got an employee that has done very well. Has been with me a long time. Who has sleep apnea, but never wears a CPAP. I mean, with the exception of when I was a teenager. I mean, let's say in the last 10 years, I've only missed half a dozen days of wearing my CPAP. I know how important it is. If I don't wear it, I'm exhausted. Number one cause of death with somebody with sleep apnea is falling asleep while they're driving. Okay?
Wow.
So
I didn't know that.
He falls asleep at his seat. This guy's highly productive, works a lot, does it. But imagine how much more he could get done if he wasn't so tired that he would literally fall asleep sitting up.
That's crazy. You have to be really tired.
He falls asleep sometimes at the stoplight, right? In the car.
That's crazy.
I've been that tired before.
I've been that tired.
Yeah. And I mean, it's nothing personal, but so I have to give him a little bit of a hard time because I've talked to him till I'm blue in the face about wearing your CPAP and about changing your lifestyle and these things. Now it's like, listen, bro.
All right, let's have a real talk.
If you're not going to do it, fine. You're a grown man, I'm not. I'm going to have to pay somebody else that can and that will.
And that goes back to if you're not there, somebody else is going to do it. I mean, it's always the case.
Yeah.
And they may do it better. And that's what scares me. Like, you always have to put your best foot forward. And not saying he's not your employee. Not,
he's
right.
awesome. He's awesome.
I don't know him. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
I'm speaking hypothetically. But you always have to put that best foot forward. There's another, I'm like full of quotes today. But Remy Ma, she's had this thing where she was doing like this Gwinnett Fest, like this thing where it's a big fest in New York for all rappers or whatever. And this girl was like, oh my gosh, Remy Ma, you're picking favorites. She said, well, bitch, become the favorite. And I was like, oh, that's such a good moment because it's so true. Become the favorite. If you're mad because someone else is in that, do what they're doing to get in that position. Work hard.
Yeah.
And I love that because you have to do better. It's always someone better.
Everybody thinks the cycle is work really hard, sacrifice, become successful. Stop working hard. Let me tell you what happens. At some point, complacency sets in for people that are successful, and they stop producing, which in itself creates opportunity for others to replace them, right? Think about bands that stop producing music, right? It literally creates opportunity for others because someone has to fill that void, right? So you're exactly right. Like, hey, listen, like the person I'm talking about is awesome. But if you're at a point in your life where you're not willing to do these things, and you're just not able to produce like you used to, maybe what you value is more time, and that's fine. I'm not gonna fire you over it. If you're loyal to me, I'm loyal to you. We'll work it out.
Right.
But okay, maybe that means is we only need to schedule for like 25 hours a week, and you need to do something else with your time. And during this window, maybe you need more rest. And so instead of you getting,
that's smart.
Everybody thinks, oh, I'm gonna get more pay raises. I want lots of pay raises, and I want to work less. That doesn't work.
No.
Right. So how about you take less money? How about we lower your requirements here so that way you have more time to do whatever it is that you want to do, including rest, and we bring some other people in here to help get this thing done, right? And we just start having a different kind of conversation, right?
Well, income is usually directly associated with responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, the more income you make, the more responsibility you have.
You do. You have a ton of responsibility.
Oh, yeah. Everybody thinks you own your business. You're not accountable to anybody.
No.
You're accountable to your partners. You're accountable to investors. You're accountable to your clients, to your customers.
It's more.
You're accountable to your employees.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, I don't want a 9 to 5. I want to own my own place. I want to do this. Okay, you won't be working. Right.
That's a 24/7.
Right. Right. You're not going to be working 9 to 5. You're never off.
I was on the phone this morning from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. dealing with issues at locations.
You don't get sleep.
I mean, because at the end of the day, it had to go through a ton of channels before it got to me. But it got to me.
It did.
So for 2 hours between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. this morning, that's what I was dealing with.
Yeah.
And you have to do that because who else is going to do it?
Right.
Nobody else is going to do that for you.
Exactly.
So, I mean, when people say they want, I don't want a 9 to 5. I want to own my own stuff. I don't want to some overhead.
I'm tired of missing vacations because I got to work. I'm sitting there going, what are you talking about,
You're
man?
still going to be missing. My thing is I don't want a boss. Well, guess what? Your clients are going to be your bosses now.
Right.
You now, with a 9 to 5, you have one boss.
Yeah.
When you're an entrepreneur, you have several bosses because you still can't miss out. You still have to be accountable. You still have to be this person.
I hear people say, "Oh, I'm gonna own my own business so I can be home at lunch with my kid." I'm like, "Bro, you don't know what you're talking about.
You're gonna miss your kids a
We've
lot of times.
We've canceled a lot of vacations
because of business.
Self-employed, yeah.
Oh, 100. And I've gotten to the point now. I will get my family settled. I will. That's all that matters, right? Like, I'm a little old-fashioned. My number one priority is making sure that my wife and my children are taken care of, right? Provide this environment that they can be successful, whatever that is, right? That's my job. I need to do that. My job is not to spend all of my time with them. In my book,
right?
My job is to provide this thing, right? This lifestyle, this opportunity, these things. I'm out, and I think my wife's role that she's signed up for, that she wanted, was to be this, to help hold the glue that holds this family unit together, which I really like because that reminds me of my mother, right? That's awesome. What she does. That's what she did. That's what she does today. She holds the family together, right?
She's a glue.
So that's what Jessica is, right? So I allow her the opportunity to do what she's wanting to do.
That's awesome.
I produce, right? That means that part of my sacrifice is I'm not getting to do some of these things, right? But it's okay. I'm fine with that. When I am there, I'm on it. Like,
You're there.
I get there, I'm tired, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I get there, I've been on the road for 20 hours, and I show up, and we got an hour before bedtime, we can catch a sunset, Hey, kids, let's get on the boat. I take them out.
That's awesome.
And they're falling asleep watching the sunset on the water. Like,
I love that.
While I'm there, I'm there.
Right. But see, that's such a good point because people, and I hear a lot of parents say it, like, so a lot of my friends are parents, and this one girl, she said, I want to do this, but I don't want to do it because I have children. And I was like, wait, here's the thing. You're working a job. You want to be an entrepreneur, but you don't want to leave your kids. They're 3. They'll get over it.
Yeah.
Sorry, they will.
Yeah.
Do you want to see them where they're on your boat?
Yeah.
And you're living your good life.
Yeah.
And you made this sacrifice for this short amount of time, but
Yep.
it's a long-term effect.
Yeah.
Or do you want to still be in the same place 10 years from now? You're still here.
Yep.
Your kids will get over it. They will love you once you buy them their boat. They have their business.
Yeah.
You can pay for their college. And, it's that sacrifice you have to make. And you have to say, okay, do I want to leave my children for this amount of time? For me, yeah,
Well,
I do.
And also, what are you teaching your kids over those 10 years?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are they going? What's their future like?